Can they build on it here?
Already setting up for that A-take where Eternal Fire are strong. The bullets and damage go PCIFIC's way, as well as the entries coming through. Echo now looking to try and hold things down, and successfully doing so. A clean double kill, Izzy here to support, and PCIFIC stopped the door.
Echo finding even another one, and the floodgates are open yet again. Izzy tries to follow it up, but Necky's there as the rotation was already...
100%. I think that's the thing about Eternal Fire, that they're a team that will come from nowhere and surprise you. And that's something that they're going to continue to do. Although PCIFIC here might grab our attention, as we can see right now.
Okay.
Oda's stuck in the corner. That's a couple of upgrades.
Yeah, quick kills from Valorant. Bulldog in play on 7. He's on full HP, but Fabian over the top's already found one back, and CNET is lucky to get away with his life.
Yeah, that he is. Shotgun in hand at close range. That's where you would want it. But Alarante's Bulldog doing the damage. You can see a lot of bodies getting ready to be flung forward. PCIFIC expecting this.
They're just playing passively. There are 4 players here, so easily digested on the PCIFIC side, and I think this is something that we've got to be looking out for, them containing that aggression that we know Eternal Fire have been plying match to match. It's something that Fnatic needed to get to grips with, something which Vitality couldn't handle. Nice shots from Necky, but still doesn't really look like enough to fully dilute this.
Oda's now just respecting it. I mean, Alorante is low, but for the most part you're expecting this to be won, especially with CNED up in heaven.
Well, look, one more kill here from Ordaz would have been huge damage, but I mean, to be fair, I'd be happy to counter that point, but we'll get back to it in just a moment, because CNED's on the offensive here, and already starting as he means to go on. A quick double through ramp, and with the spike left behind in spawn and PCIFIC still holding this default, Eternal Fire forced to react. Is he re-clearing through main, and he will sever 7 from the situation, and so CNED.
Rest of PCIFIC starting to match his performances. Echo now trying to fight mid.
Oh, and he's going to win the first duel cleanly. Alorante, swivel of the head eventually does pick him up, and now they're back into the lens of the operator. Is he repositioning from tower and in the right way? Or actually, no, he has the sight control, sorry. It's Alorante over the shoulder in support. And PCIFIC at the die. Eternal Fire, life left in him yet, and with this aggressive maneuver, plenty of reveals outside of B. Is he trying to chase it down? And Fabian not far behind with the paint shells, but PCIFIC again do a brilliant job at weathering the storm.
And that's what they need to do against the
PCIFIC. Read it.
It's got to be after this round. Necky, though, I mean, trying to be, again, that hero factor. We know it's 2v5. But it's that fights like this that could potentially cost you rounds.
Sure. I mean, in a completely different situation.
No, I do. It's been the point I'm trying to make is that I feel as if Eternal Fire are keen to try and do that. Oh, Aloe.
Yeah, Echo's just trying to bait Aloe into this one with the judge. Not sure if he's quite spotted it out yet, but
as they come straight back and up through mid, CNED caught off guard, and it's Echo once again to hold things down.
Is he just about hanging in there? Ninja spots him and actually takes through the edge of the smoke in middle. 3 engagements already there, and PCIFIC, you can see, now looking to re-clear this space where Fabian has posted back up with that saved operator.
Necky is beginning to push A, so right now he has been an absolute hero for Eternal Fire, especially thinking back to last week. It continues to be that case in this round at least. So it's an Alorante 1 versus 4. He's good for his 1vx's, but this feels a bit out of his boathouse. It will be the case. At PCIFIC straight back to what was working for them. I'm going to go for a quick exit. Fabian pushed back. As he forced back as well, but it's the showstopper to respond. 7 trying to use his, but can't get the blast packs to work. And now still has that rocket, won't even get to fire it off. As Eternal Fire are very quickly shutting down PCIFIC after the ultimate they threw into the mixer. So it has to be a clutch from Ninja, which he can't even really. 3-1 default, 3 players towards mid. And it's Echo to hold this part of the map down. He was successful in doing so last time, but not successful here.
No, 7 Immediately cuts that out, and this is precious real estate for Pacific. Couple of times now they've been stopped from making it to vents, merging that push, now working their way, backtracking in fact, into main, where Neki's already set up to knock them down. 2 quick kills out of him, and Izzy even missing the leg shot onto 7. But eventually corrects himself, and with Valorant dropping the spike in behind, it's a no-scope from Izzy to follow up. Eternal Fire just moments away from tying the scoreline from the timeout.
30 seconds.
Unless Cooper has anything to say for it, but he does.
Yeah.
Molly's already dropped towards the site. It's only Ordaz here watching B.
Yeah, he's only had 1 kill so far to identify this site would be huge.
Wow.
That's his second. And what? Echo somehow managed to get a molly into place. Ninja spray working out as well. 3v2. This Nightfall to try and play in the tower players, but it's not hit anyone.
No, it's just allowed Fabian to get out back on the site itself, whereas Izzy is holding things down in rotation again.
No.
As the Neon player, he's here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, but it's just, look at this. Cupid to fake out towards A all by himself. The spike slowly makes its way on towards.
Other issue highlighted by the captain. The ex-academy graduates now in play for this 2-on-2. And with Fabian creeping closer, it's Ninja, 1 off the ace. Izzy up in the heavens, already spotted. Cupid will finish it. Eternal Fire are going to give them these fights because they've been winning them all stage. So with CNED set up on utility here, Fabian just waits for a moment to bait out those peaks. When he re-clears, it's a swift double.
I agree, but it is Ordaz to hold down the site. Couldn't do it last time, only got 1 kill up close in the corner, and you can see Pacific once again doubting themselves.
Smoke timings, everything here. Ordaz nailed to the wall by Alorante. And again, CNED knows those tricks too well. The first Turkish champion on a global stage knows exactly the DNA that runs in the blood of these teams, and with Izzy in the 1v3, he knows a stage or two himself. Might just be looking to save the operator here.
Oh no, full battle utility going elsewhere. Eternal Fire are interested towards the A side. This is looking like a brilliant fake.
Yeah, for whatever reason they seem to think it was the other side, but Izzy finally on high alert, and when he comes back into the site, comes crashing down on the heads of 2 Pacific players. Movement not good enough in the end to bail him out of the situation, and Neki with a hopeless death in the heavens means that Echo has so much heavy lifting to do, and that mid walk down we were waiting for comes in far too soon. Pacific ready for every last peak, and with Fabian only on a shotgun at that range, because right now it's been the perfect start. Last chance to get another here up against the full buy, and with 7 already closing the distance on this site with the rocket, he is going to finish off what was started in main. Full assault of the A site here. And with only Izzy left, he has to play in with the operator. Finds the first.
Has the ulti as well. This could be somewhat doable, but with 7 hiding away in the pit and plate.
Izzy running out of opportunities at this point. Right back into the open arms of 7. And there you go. Pacific with 8, letting their presence be felt in Garage. A bit of a fake and an orb collected as they head towards A.
Oh, Alo having to try and dodge round. Izzy's the one that ends up getting stunned there. Elsewhere, Neki opens up the B side. Pacific are walking down mid as well. There's a lot of moving parts to this round. Are Pacific in the right position to catch off this rotate?
I think 7's just heard the steps here of Ordaz.
Yeah, he's coming through, coming round, and Ninja catches him off guard. Advantage Pacific. Echo making this even though as we go back and forth in the spike plant being attempted. There's still players in Garage for Pacific. You can see on multiple fronts, people are taking fights, and it's Eternal Fire for the moment. They seem to be coming out on top, and certainly will be. Give nothing away. Neki playing towards trying to get at least one of these orbs. Will get it in the end.
Even CNED is going back to reinvestigate. The heaven space only now repealed. And with that, Neki also arriving late in main, but focus on the site as Ordaz is cornered. Util dropping up to his ankle. 7 has offed CNED with his own nade, and as Echo's able to stand his ground, the follow-up should be there. Or so you'd think. Alorante in a position. That's what we've got to be looking at.
Yeah, now force the players to try and get active through mid a little bit quicker than expected. Nightfall and Showstopper invested as a couple of kills go elsewhere. Actually goes trying to hit towards the B site, and they try and play forward in towards Audaz, who's not had the best of series, and given the advantage towards the defense.
Yeah, nice re-clear called by Cupid, and actually a gap in the backline now opens up for 7.
Trying to work it as Favian now, all the way in towards defender spawn.
Did he get spotted?
Aloe seeing it now, so that makes it an even bigger advantage for this defense. C-Red now identifying the players trying to come up rope, and Eternal Fire really stalling out here.
Up on the line though, and numbers to stop the cross.
Denied in a minute, 30 seconds remaining to get this spike down, but it's stuck in heaven. Echo now trying to be another angle in which this attack can try and get on towards the site, but at the same time PCIFIC begin to close on in. Not even going to get a chance. Is this a flawless round perhaps for PCIFIC? The answer is no, but it's just as
starting to dive in.
They're trying to play off their own wall and the conditioning that could possibly set, but with the toxins gone and 7 also off the board, this makes this a lot more doable. The Viper's Pit seems to be wasted as well, so that's a great entry for CNED.
Yeah, brilliant shot from him. And now heading back into the retake. Ninja just one off of the Nightfall. CNED his own ult, and of course Cupid with the Cosmic Divide at this point in time. It's an all-in for PCIFIC if they go for it.
Just decipher exactly what they want to do. It seems like a re-clear towards ramp would be a good decision, but you're heading into what has been the most on-form player for Eternal Fire, and he's not going to miss a chance. So all 4 now look to bunker down on site, while the remaining 3 of PCIFIC have to try and get here, but time is running out.
I mean, Eternal Fire quickly identify the retakes coming from main, so they've adjusted brilliantly.
Yeah, that they have, and Eternal Fire have to fight their way out, which they'll do success, but they also have 2 timeouts to use if they want to. Eternal Fire with none. But as they go down mid, Favian is the player caught off guard. A refight from Shops gets Neki his own. So we're still resting what I thought was a 4 versus 4. But it's not. It's Eternal Fire got one more. CNED just jumping in towards site. Didn't realise there was a player below him. That was Echo. As it continues to be 1-on-1 consistently all around the map. And it seems as if we're going to even out 3v3.
Yeah, CNED's still hanging around here though.
Yeah, next fight against Echo, can't quite get the kill. Showstopper is good though, and so is 7. And it's just Echo within his pit that gets caught. Use the ultimates to back it up. Echo through mid, you can feel the danger lurking through as he comes from behind. PCIFIC's retake though is getting underway as Echo comes through at the right time. But is it too late? But yeah, but here we go, just a straight up execute to deny PCIFIC their first map here on Split, their first win. It's ended up going Cupid's way here, and Ninja as well. PCIFIC have got a brilliant start to this round.
I mean, Eternal Fire have absolutely nothing going for them at this point. There is no reason to take an extra duel.
Oh, it looks like they want to though. Is Valorant within this? Likes to put Eternal Fire!
Really, non-existent. Can those scrims translate into an official? It's not started off the best, and Eternal Fire fighting back through here, actually. Do you get the better of it? Cupid's got to come up with the goods. He's empty-handed. Order!
Deny this with the judge, so expecting him to get a couple here, and it's not going the way you'd expect. This is exactly how that round and Split started, gaining a judge.
And no less, it is the Sentinel players. Order's out to dry here!
This is doable, this fight goes down, and with a rifle in hand, Ninja has the Phantom.
Surely not 2 maps in a row. I mean, PCIFIC have the arcade control here. That's going to be huge. Ninja with a drone late. He's offline now.
Yeah, and that Phantom goes offline, as well as any utility that was left in pocket already. The pool gone. This is looking like a successful retake for Eternal Fire. That judge coming through.
Yeah.
Couple of rifles getting the kills. It's up to CNED. His Phantom looking decent. Doesn't have the slide. Has to try and hit his shots now as Favian tries to bait him out. Bullets are getting low here. He needs to hit his shots, and he's not doing it. His time goes away. Oh no!
Again, man, that's fine. You just tell me. Cupid has had enough of the silly business. 3 quick kills, lays down the law. And Valorant, maybe the only team that have lent into it here. Izzy is able to find exactly that. Alorante early on in B main, rest of the pressure being created from arcade side, but PCIFIC pumped the brakes for a moment.
Yeah, looking to try and respond and scale up with the utilities. Fabian, who was MVP of Split, tries to be MVP of this map, but takes a step too far.
They just continue that progression, and it's the peak with no utility tower back into the shotgun, which you didn't necessarily know was going to be there, but Eternal Fire kind of making decisions on their lonesome right now. Is he still propping up the other end?
Now, as the players make their way out of tower, the Stars going in. This is the eternal presence that you can see, but it's the Eternal Fire that continues to burn PCIFIC.
Great kills. Now the remaining players in through tower again. I mean, Seven just needs to create space.
It does. Planting open is not what you want to do. As Cupid now basically goes into a death match. With time so low, he needs to get the spike. It is done, and it's Echo.
That utility as Valorant is on the spawn side for the attack right now, as again they take Arcade and scale onto the site.
Oh, and Echo's caught. Oh my god, the kill's just going PCIFIC's way every time. Evolution gone off the board, and now Echo trying to brawl his way through. Will give information to Izzy. This operator in a 1 versus 4, I do not fancy this hazard.
No, it does have the ult to fall back on, and
I think like PCIFIC are not like teams of the past, right? Like Apex or Koi or anybody else that we've seen towards the bottom part. As we can see already, PCIFIC are looking to scale their way in towards the site. Echo's Judge blinded up, not going to get what he was looking for, and neither is Audaz. Right now, it's looking good as Eternal Fire drip feed into the site, and PCIFIC will eat good.
Happy to just invest that one ultimate to make sure they've got to put Eternal Fire to the sword. Huge exchange between the ops, and as the first shot fires off, Seeded knows all too well what Izzy's up to. Counter ult prepared on the Eternal Fire side to just delay this. But crossing the 25-second mark, PCIFIC really, again, not in such a comfortable position for this post-plant.
Yeah, but they've not... Eternal Fire don't really have utility to retake, so it's just straight up fights.
And that's where it starts to benefit Ninja in the open air. That operator has changed hands, and now, with him bestowing it, it's easy enough to find the first. The trade, not so much. Plenty of utility to fall back on in this situation. Cupid almost with a full belt of stars as they're dropped to the side. The fight's taken on the front foot. The Fire can't do it. Is he still with this operator, which feels like it's managed to survive like a zombie round to round? I mean, it's actually a full investment here. They've spent every last credit to get it on.
Well, the drone was about to confirm it. This, for the most part, eco round, as you said, like operator in play for Izzy, but he's towards Arcade and easily dealt with in the end.
I think he's probably going to be considering just walking away and trying to keep that in the next, yeah.
Echo's invested into a Judge. Do you try and fling that forward?
No, I mean, it's like the most exposed site there possibly is. If you're not retaking from Arcade, you have no chance. Already spotted out, the spam will clear him. With Izzy's op yet to be revealed, PCIFIC come through, which draws your attention.
Allo needs to be careful because he's going up against the operator and gives himself up. So advantage towards the defense. The first time I've seen that in a while.
Nice use of the salvos here. Should clear Fabian out.
Seems to be the case. Is Cned towards Arcade all by himself towards the site. PCIFIC need to get a move on now, guys, because the time is getting too low if he shows us the good. Supported by the Cypher utility. All he needs to do is deny the spike plant, but as he's already here to help with that, as he's got 3 on the round, and it's just left all alone to Ninja. Does he have the time? The answer is no.
And this is where we see the change up.
Launching missile.
Just straightforward. Starting now to ask questions of the A side as they look towards Sand, actually, as the entry, and it's Echo to be involved. And continues to be, actually. Big information to come through in terms of the retake is still, you can see PCIFIC trying to scale in. 3 on 3. Fabian tries something special, but it's delayed. And Neki, one of his own. 1v3 Alorante, what have you got for us? Can't quite connect the heads. Known for his sharp shooting. Can he show it here? The answer is no. So they've put the operator and the Cypher towards here, and nobody's given Izzy anything. And PCIFIC go one step further in towards the spawn, and the site anchors are questioning themselves. Where has everybody gone?
Oh, it's a brilliant change up, straight from the strap hook. Izzy being Watched over here by Valorant, who is expecting that kind of a push to come through. Timing for Echo. Oh, catches it delightfully.
Yeah, that is so Valorant gets put into a joker position and 7 caught on the site. Has to play from within, supported by Cooper. Spike not committed. It's a dangerous one if Echo plays beyond the cosmic divide. And a ping just for the players to come out. Valorant.
Too many times so far.
No, out through sand. 7 catches Audaz, so it's Echo all alone towards the top of site, playing amongst his cages. Can the players try and identify the dog? Shoot, as he's now a little bit hot under the collar. That's exactly the case. Couple of trades either way, leaves it PCIFIC in the advantage, but this is to clutch up in a 1v2.
No reason to get flustered here. Taken over peak. It's a 2v1. Big chance for PCIFIC.
7 still with the flash. That's a big info piece if he wants to use it, but would rather rely on his rifle and ends up going up against Dizzy.
Wow. Takes one to the dome as he'll scale away across the zip line into the site. It's absolute chaos, but PCIFIC starting to find the shots. That's when Neki notches one back. A 3-on-2 with both players retaking bridge.
Yeah, they're going to be there fairly late, to be honest, and with no utility. Echo, that's a clean fight.
That was the low player. Little utility left, like you say, but it's this cute reposition from Neki that could be so pivotal. Frenzy in hand. If he walks off the angle, he perhaps leaves Audaz a little bit exposed inside the site. But again, his reprisal is bang on. And with Audaz nailing the he isn't the contact, but has a flash for the rest to play off. A pack here on the PCIFIC side, and as they emerge from the smoke, the fire start to fall flat. The kill's coming up, and it's Neki again, the captain holding the torch with the rest of the fire following. Hairs on the back of their neck standing up, and this needs to be the moment Valorant finds the all-important kill. Last 2 players locked away in the tower, and with the half secured through Cooper, there is still half a chance here. That second salvo dropping in, and he's forced to backtrack from it in the end. Again, into another eco with a singular shotgun. It's their own in the hands of Izzy that's opened up the site to start. Still 2 players backfilling this, but Ninja is in a corner which should be easily cleared from the players in main. And saying that, he's the only one to find a kill.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of the only kill that's going to happen. And you know, 3 big ultis in the pocket for Eternal Fire. And Echo not hitting his shots. That's a big point.
Unreal.
That is a really big point. At least at the same time, Eternal Fire respond. They're going to take the site and they're going to have close plan.
But they're starting to use some of those tools early on to claw back a kill. And with that, actually, PCIFIC, one less thing to worry about in this retake when they have ults of their own. Look at Ninja.
Yeah, PCIFIC now starting their own movement straight back into this with the spike planted in the middle of sight. Big kills coming through from PCIFIC. So what have Izzy and Neki got for us in terms of a clutch? Ninja considering his ultimate as Neki goes and tries to brawl. Why would you do that? Because you whacked Izzy all up. PCIFIC, Echo is on site. Valorant, if he wins this, could decide the round.
And it's Cooper instead over his shoulder to set it up. PCIFIC a player to the good, coming into what is such an important round for them to win and keep that streak going. Fabian trading out, but it's Ninja over the top. Twice the numbers now. Beyond this Astra wall, Fabian has to find so much. Audaz there with him, and already the kill's starting to come in, but CNED's ready to play. Bang, he just walks up to the wall, slap in the face from Audaz. Cooper
had a fight on the spike holder. As Cooper begins to round the corner, misses his chance on Audaz, or does he?
No, takes a brilliant one. Echo alert timing though, yet to be spotted! CNED with a no-scope, how about one more? CNED still going, but Eternal Fire respond.
Keep the advantage as well, PCIFIC. So in a 3 versus 2, Eternal Fire need to get that spike back.
Valorant has a TP, I'm not quite sure where it's to, but out of the conversation now as Cyber Cage comes out, but this is a telegraph perhaps that PCIFIC are trying to read into. They should understand now that that is the lurk. Still 3 players strong siding on the A site, but the first player to come under fire is Echo for the German to walk up and what would be the first win for him on home soil. The first of his kind. It's Neki he's got to beat though, and that's when we come back to reality. A kill that just peels away the presence and stops Pacific from getting back in. Izzy bulkering down. First kill picked up from the operator, but Ninja does trade it. Still a 3-on-3 and it all hangs in the balance. CNED pops the ult to try and close the distance, but he is going to drop down to Ordaz, who's had a couple kills already, and the last falls onto Neki. See, the op is out here for CNED, and it's set up with this flash. Echo again in the firing line. Again, he is dead.
Yeah, he's had a really rough map so far. That spike now over to safety on the attacker spawn. But they're looking to hit into Aloe and Cooper.
He feels like such a late win condition, right? 16 and 16 right now. He isn't in the... Actually, yeah, it looks like they are going to pivot back, and that's because Izzy has one laid up on Aloe, caught in transition.
Oh, the shots connect for Cooper though, and Seven's here in the right spot. Time to delay, and these players for Eternal Fire need to get a move on. Big kill though.
35 seconds, now coming to the point of no return. Eternal Fire a decision to make, and it looks like they're fully committed to the B play. Reposition into Arcade from Cooper. Didn't hear the jump up. Fabian has the backstab, but they're completely split here. It all comes down to the individuals, and with time continuing to tick away, Fabian gets the kill he needs.
Yep, opens up the site. That is a big ultimate to create more delay. Look at that time.
Ninja still with a stun here to try and play back through. CNED can be said for the same. Drops into the corner, just misses out. All eyes on Ordaz, has to do the heavy lifting. Falls to Fabian, finds the first. One more!
They've got rid of the trip from the Veto as they look to go straight in and stop anything coming their way, any sort of denial, but it's Cooper that denies him through his Guardian. Ends up settling a 2v2, but you need to get that spike back, and this is a key point. Neki, Phantom in hand, fighting forward! And like this, there should be no chance in hell.
Seeing it with the judge, he's the first responder, trading places in the smoke. That was the only real way into the... Looks like Eternal Fire want to give this a little bit of a go, see what it is they're able to find. Seven passes the first test, and I don't think there should be too many more of these, all right? Echo dropped, and Ninja another. So, speaking of ults...
For Neki, that's the big thing. And it comes through, perhaps decided through an A brawl is either side send it in. It all comes through the drone in terms of info, but CNED's judge comes through, spamming in. Kills going Pacific's way initially, but that could be the change. That could be the way in terms of Eternal Fire winning this map. As CNED retreats and tries to give it up, Eternal Fire look to bear on down.
He needs a reposition here, a solid one. Valorant doesn't get enough. He's in there as well, so plenty of stopping power on the defender's side, but that immediately makes you want a Pacific pistol to try and right the ship. And for all the chances they've had to get their first in this series, this looks like the best.
Yeah, but Eternal Fire, every single time that we've seen any good chances on a pistol, have immediately fought back. And with Echo being deposited on B main, we need serious issues for Eternal Fire. That's why they're being forced through tree. And it still continues on with CNED finding Echo, who's been really found out since that last map.
3 already picked up on the Sheriff with that late timing from B main. Neki looking for something here, trying to scour away if he possibly can. As soon as he's receptive of any pressure, you can see actually, Ordaz wants to try and set this up with a paranoia. The problem is the net lands at his captain's feet, so while he's trying to go ahead and dig this one out, Seven's just backtracking, inviting that presence. A best of one now. A Fnatic team which likes to play slow, likes to work the map on their attack side. It's very different to an Eternal Fire team which is all in a lot of times, and that's what we're seeing on Sand here.
Last player standing.
Echo, the last player remaining. His position has been noted. Could look like for Pacific, of course, their tools are typically bound to the sites they're set up on. Here's a bit of proactivity in B main up against the bonus. Fabian does a brilliant job to handle it. 3 kills from him picked up, and Seven left searching with the Sheriff.
Yeah, I mean, as Seven comes back in with the Sheriff, Fabian, we've been creating a lot of comparisons with him and
anticipating that B play to come in fully. Barrier mesh drops, but they have sensors there. They're ready to fight back onto C.
Oh, but that's a great nade. The players within the smoke still there. And a nice information grab by Ordaz. And CNED now all alone on site, trying to respect this one and not give anything away. Although being so low, he might not get a chance to fight back in.
Yeah, needed a kill on the way back through, but Seven's so far advanced.
Yeah, he has been mercurial and looks to do it again! A big 3K! Brings it into a 2v1. Remember, CNED so low, a body shot would be enough. But given enough space, Neki goes back onto site. Spike in the back pocket, tries to use it to his advantage. Waits for the next fight, and it's a brilliant one onto Cooper. That was the full health player. And now against CNED, who is already low.
Who with these cross-map Thorn lineups does have a bit of stall, but nothing that can stop a showstopper here. Right over the top of the head of Seven. He will find Fabian and continue to bunker down on backside A.
That's what Deadlock's so good for, being able to adapt to the setup. His ultimate doesn't connect, and the shots from Eternal Fire seem to straight away and a disadvantage are Pacific.
Back into the retake, quick one from Cupid, gets them back on side.
Yeah, CNED's operator, can he work a chance? Sees a barrel on a reload, but misses his opportunity. So he does bring in Cupid to play with him, and Ninja still waiting for his chance, but it looks like it's going to be fleeting as Eternal Fire continue to connect pain onto Pacific's players. What? Echo somehow doesn't react quick enough, but manages to make the adjustment.
Eternal Fire will know that, as you can see here, really pacey play. Straight up the guts through the B site. Is he trying to make his way in through the Hobbit door? It's a long slide from CNED, winning out that big exchange between the two. Echo a couple of his own, and in and amongst all the chaos, the round now offered a bit of quiet.
Yes, Audaz to clutch up. He's had a pretty rough series so far.
And to be able to TP past the thorns in the wall, so at the very least a chance to get the plant in and offer a little bit of relief here. As Audaz were to round the corner, could very quickly find himself exposed. This paranoia on the defender's side. Audaz now played into the situation, scrambling to find that final player as Cupid cuts across from main, walking round towards the bend as Audaz now starts to know, playing the time down to the final second. There might not be much left in this one, as Eternal Fire have commonly been able to punish Pacific for it. The captain stands up when it's asked of him most, and offering some relief for them finally.
There's nobody to actually capitalise off the back. Yeah, but the nade isn't there, and Fabian is. An even trade, but it is a reset. Towards B main we look.
I think that's one of the issues with no damaging utility here. So Alarante's the tip of the spear through the middle. Izzy finds him. Sentinel util down. Echo played in for a fight on Seven, which he loses.
Yeah, it's rough, but at least the Biomesh does go up. 3v3 on the retake, dropping in. Nobody considers, is he?
And Seven's just playing util out. Cupid trying to follow it up. TP's back out of the situation, 2-on-2. Still no plant in play, but Pacific need to just put things together in this situation. Play off of the numbers. Neki is completely out of position here in main, nowhere for him to go. It's all on the shoulders of Audaz, still behind the barrier as it finally fades away. Reposition tucks the Smokes player into the box as Neki is the first point of contact. The spam's got to land at some point because otherwise this is a full stick from Cupid, and when he's finally removed, it comes down to Ninja. A clutch one already for him. Neki can say the same. Between the two of them, it's all on this, and Neki! Yeah, but can see CNED's trying to pop the ult here. He's already 34 HP. Be lucky to find a single kill once revealed, and there you have it. Neki profiting from his own util. Ninja just good for the one. So the eco already dealt with, and Eternal Fire continuing to blitz through.
Ooh, nice right click, and also get a rifle off the back of it.
There's something recovered here for Cupid, and now a little bit more tentative on the Eternal Fire side with their approach. Echoed on A as it's a 4-1 from Pacific. Ready to fight them at the root, but Izzy has a smash and grab answer with the operator. Echo left behind, but Ninja does catch him on the way out.
I got Spike.
Yeah. Spike retrieved, and it seems if that decision's made, it's Alorante to face up against 4.
Ultimate. Go, go, go.
Has to stand his ground in this situation. And the Steel Garden is there. Should Pacific opt for the retake in this 4-on-4. You can see still just biding his time, waiting for the rest of the defense to arrive. Solo player towards CT side, finally rips the... Oh, and Fabian! Like a lawnmower, just slices straight through the cloud cover. Cupid won on the trade, but as they filter back...
Echo tries to make moves of his own.
They're walking into him here. Cupid could be in for a boatload, but it's just the one that he will find. No B-main control, no follow-up. Fabian's still testing on the C side. Showstopper popped in for the kill on Aloe. Won't find it the first time. And with CNED there to pick up the pieces, PCIFIC still in this round.
Yeah, but I thought for a minute the spike was going towards B. It's just Izzy himself. But it's a 2v2 on site.
Yeah, and look, if CNED gets in there quick enough, Ordaz was out in the open. Drops in with a bit of blind spam. Nothing taken. Izzy could pull the plug on this whole play, though. That's not if CNED keeps going in and around the pit.
Izzy's nowhere to be seen.
Echo left behind. He finds the kill he needs, and it's another B pivot. Time is low, but there's just enough to get this plant in. CNED's going to try and interrupt, and that's where Residual, as always, detached from the rest of the pack, and this is a problem. Ninja looking to try and fend them off, can only stall out for so long. Eternal Fire all over PCIFIC like a rash, and with Fabian left behind, he nearly finishes it off himself. Spectre to be upgraded, but the expectation is Eternal Fire with 9. Their Lotus improved since the Fnatic game. They showed us how good they could be against Vitality. Oh, well, they're defender-sided agents, right? As long as PCIFIC get the site, they can fortify it and really find some value. So here they go, another pistol on the cards, and it looks like Eternal Fire are ready to take it home already. Izzy with 3. Cupid has gained a little bit of ground here, but nothing. Another attempt on the C site. Smoke fading. Is he here?
Straight in. I mean, it looks like Cupid's going to play entry here as well. As we can see, Echo trying to play within his own
Haven't found him.
And yes, they haven't. And he drops down, looking for another. Easily responded to. Nicky's just sent it in. And PCIFIC well aware of what Eternal Fire want to do. What is going on there?
With the bucket, Clay Pigeon shooting, or is he the Pigeon? I don't know.
I don't even know myself, mate. 3v2 here. Surely you don't play into the bucket. I wouldn't expect so. And PCIFIC now finally look to try and get the last couple of players off and finally won the round.
Still not in the best of places. We're talking about it being a long road and one step at a time. Shot from Ordaz.
But he can't. He did just see the leg of the deadlock. As now Fabian is asked the question, can he win out the next duel? As you can see, Eternal Fire dancing with the idea of the next fight, and PCIFIC up to task as they deathball through.
Huge punishment on that next follow-up, and Eternal Fire maybe overheating just a little bit there. Tail end of Valorant spotted merging its way towards the site, and a big 1v1 happening in heaven.
Fabian low does get a kill, so he keeps it within the realms of possibility. Echo escapes. Ninja playing Sentinel.
Kill.
But it's a 2 versus 1 at the same time. And it's Ordaz to clutch up. Silent drop. Not heard. And Alarania. And it looks like they want to do the same thing here on the defense as the players come through. An ultimate sent through from CNED as he tries to come through the orb of Echo. And actually just goes through them entirely. There's a flight coming in. PCIFIC well aware of it. And then the execute to come through once again. Ultimates from either side. The Viper's Pit, huge here. And it's actually caught Ordaz, not Echo. As he's got a double kill with a classic. No way! Finally the pit drops through CNED, but it's still a 3-on-3. The kill's still to come through, the chaos still continuing, and PCIFIC on the other side of it.
Holding angles as a team and winning as a team. Izzy barred from C-site access here, but walks around the side of the mesh. Still a 1v3.
Still with the ulti as well. So do not count him out just yet. He starts to send it in.
He's going for it.
This is an expensive one to try and be the hero in, and he's already lost a lot of health as it comes straight. He's not received it just yet, and he takes his time to fire off and does get rid of Izzy.
Yeah, that's clean. Echo is left behind here inserted though, and actually Valorant could be hot under the collar soon.
Either, to be honest, Hazza. It's when the cross comes through.
Yeah, has he called it? I mean, Cupid does end up falling, but there is a quick trade, and that's an area where Pacific to exploit here with the call that's been made. The rotation's in progress, but can't arrive soon enough. All on Ordaz, and with CNED walking straight into the barrel of the Sheriff, he simply pulls the trigger. It's looked magnificent so far, but you're just asking so much in that situation.
Yeah, he's finally here.
It's a 2v3 as well. Alarante's playing up close, ready to trade off of this, but you have to win that fight, Ninja. Here's the rocket. Trade out 1v1. Neki,
enemy remaining.
Unbeatable so far in these situations. He only has a pistol. He wouldn't land a shot. Not play.
I'm out of here.
Izzy's op yet to really find itself too involved in the conversation right now.
That's an early nightfall.
Is Neki going to peek this? Of course he is, and he's been punished again.
And that nightfall now has no value at the minute.
Pacific pumping the brakes just for a moment. Alorante has the steel garden. Careful investment of the tools catered towards the site execution. Backside already condemned to it. Fabian finding one in the middle, and this is where Izzy now wants to introduce himself. But CNED shows him the door. Sent marching orders. Pacific plotting course for bearing on down to Pacific's position. The toxin screen is going to drop, and so he does have to TP out. Fabian wishes he had such a liberty. He's as dead as anything. Trying to trim the herd with a bandit back through the smoke, but Eternal Fire are cowering on all fronts here. Brilliant bait from Seven. What an upturn in form from him on this map as we've gone from half to half. This is going to be number 10, Cairo.
Spike planted.
Do you still not believe? The extremity of the map, it's Izzy and this op. Again,
he's been forced back again.
The bane of Pacific's existence at times, but all it is, a ruse to play in the rest of the team. Fabian, Ordaz, Echo combining. Numbers on their side. Cupid TP's away.
Next kill basically decides the round, it feels like.
It does.
And pulling Alo's attention.
Just dragging the head away. Cupid needs this one cleanly. You said it decides the round, and that might be it dead and buried. Alo has no...
Early. When that door opens, the operator not hitting, but has announced itself, and Ordaz stuck with no way out. So finally, again, Pacific straight back in with the first blood.
This is nice. Yeah, clearing. They are ready for it, as always. And again, reclear here into Izzy's operator, though. This is where the round could fall to pieces for Pacific, but Izzy is feeling a little bit forgiving this time. Doesn't land the shot. The ult tries to chase him up. He repositions close to go for another duel.
30 seconds left.
So when CNED's able to cross the link, the bridge towards the site, is he still hanging on for every last centimetre of space? Echo right by his side. It's Seven once more. Yet again. Walking out behind the rest. It's crowded in a powder keg, ready to go up in smoke. Eternal Fire just need this one round for Pacific. It would be OT. The slide through the smoke works out. Brilliant blind. So many players tagged up. Fabian finding one and quickly dodging his way back out with a satchel. Cupid is low. Numbers on the defender's side.
And you feel like that fate, that deciding fate has been decided.
Go, go.
You just pry away and find a little bit of space. Encroach aggressively. Plant's going to come in. Ordaz doesn't stick it.
Spike planted.
But he does give the info.
He does. And we need to see this forward line taken.
That's what CNED's going for.
Looking for it. Players walking into his crosshairs. CNED taken down. It's all on Cupid now to keep Pacific in this. Their first win felt so close. He sprays